My child, what you thought was lost was never gone, it was only being rearranged. The silence you mistook for abandonment was actually heaven working in secret rooms, preparing a return so divine that even the pain you carried will bow before it. Listen to me carefully, because this isn't coincidence, this is command. Archangel Michael has drawn his sword, not for war, but for restoration. He is standing at the edge of your destiny, guarding what is finally coming back to you. There were moments you cried thinking everything slipped away, that you missed your moment, that God turned his face. But heaven says no. What was delayed was being positioned. What was taken was being multiplied. The door that closed was never locked, it was only sealed until the appointed time, and that time, my child, is now. Right now, the very winds around you are shifting. You might not see it yet, but something divine is moving through your name, your home, your timeline. God says, what felt lost is not lost anymore. The person, the peace, the opportunity, it's circling back, renewed and refined. Every tear you cried was counted, every waiting season was sacred, every broken piece is being refitted perfectly into your new story. Archangel Michael is whispering, stay awake. Heaven's plan is not slow, it's accelerating. The alignments that would have taken years are about to happen in days. You will notice how people who left are suddenly being mentioned again. You'll hear your name where it was once silenced. You'll feel warmth in places that used to feel cold. That's not random energy, that's restoration. There is a sound coming from heaven's gate right now. It's the sound of things being returned. Promises that expired in your mind are being rewritten in gold. What was once denied will now bow to divine timing. You will soon realize that the pain you endured was not punishment, it was preparation. Stay still for a moment and feel this, a calm that doesn't make sense, a lightness you can't explain, a pull that feels like home, that's the sign. God says, I am restoring not only what you lost but who you were before the storm. The enemy thought he buried you, but he only planted you. And the bloom that's rising now will silence every doubt that ever questioned your faith. Your name is being spoken in high places, your breakthrough has already begun its descent, and your time of restoration is not coming, it's here. Archangel Michael commands, do not step back now. Heaven's plan is unfolding faster than you can calculate. You are walking straight into the promise that once slipped through your fingers. This time, you won't chase it, it will find you. And when it does, you'll know exactly why it had to take this long, stay until the end. Something is being released even as you listen to this, something with your name written on it in divine light. Don't question how. Just receive it. Because what felt lost, is being restored. The moment you began to believe it was over, heaven whispered, now watch what I do next. You've been standing in the aftermath, thinking pieces are missing, but what if I told you those pieces are returning in forms you've never imagined? There's a holy rearrangement happening behind the scenes, and every delay that once drained your faith is now bowing to divine acceleration. You don't see the full picture yet because God hasn't finished framing it. The brush of destiny is still wet with promise. Listen closely, Archangel Michael is not standing still anymore. His command has already gone forth. The same voice that guarded prophets, that split storms, that silenced chaos, is speaking your name again. You've been in a waiting room, unaware that heaven was redesigning your entrance. Not just to bring you back, but to elevate you beyond the level you lost. This time, restoration isn't a return, it's a rebirth. There's a moment, a sound, almost like thunder but softer, that's echoing through the unseen. It's the vibration of every closed chapter unlocking at once. You'll soon feel sudden clarity in your chest, like air after rain, and you'll know, this is it. This is where everything starts moving. Conversations you never thought would happen again will suddenly find their way back to you. Messages long overdue will arrive at the exact second your faith aligns with heaven's rhythm. You may have felt forgotten, but in truth, you were being preserved. You were hidden in divine timing because premature blessings would have broken you. But now, the spiritual code is complete, the lock has turned. God says, it's safe now to give them what they've been prepared to carry. The pressure, the silence, the separation, it was heaven's strategy, not punishment, and as you hear these words, something inside you recognizes this truth. Your spirit knows what's being said is not imagination, it's confirmation. Archangel Michael's energy moves like light, cutting through doubt, commanding all that belongs to you to rise again. You will notice how everything begins to mirror divine order. The right people appear, the wrong ones fade quietly, and suddenly, your life feels aligned like never before. That's not coincidence, that's heaven taking position. Look around you, even time feels different. Hours pass like moments, because what's unfolding doesn't need logic, it needs readiness. The same God who watched you break is now watching you bloom. He says, I have not forgotten one tear, one word, one prayer. The restoration you're walking into will make every unanswered night worth it, and when the moment hits, you won't have to ask if it's yours, you'll feel it. Your heart will steady, the noise will fade, and peace will fill the room like warm light. That will be your sign, the heavens have aligned. And what was once lost has found its way home. Stay still. Something beyond your understanding is already in motion. Heaven's plan hasn't just begun, it's rushing toward you. Don't move, don't doubt, don't question. Just breathe and receive. Because the gates that were once closed are now wide open, and the light pouring through them, is carrying your name. The air around you is shifting again. You can feel it, subtle, steady, unstoppable. It's that quiet pull before the breakthrough, that moment when heaven begins to move faster than your doubts can catch up. What was once still is now alive, and even though you can't see the full picture yet, your spirit knows something divine is unfolding. You've stepped into a realm where silence speaks louder than sound, and every unseen force is now aligning itself in your favor. Archangel Michael stands before you, not in a dream, but in presence. His armor glows with the reflection of your answered prayers, and his wings carry the authority of divine timing. He looks upon what tried to destroy you, and with one command, he declares, enough. The chaos that drained your peace is being dismissed. The confusion that clouded your path is dissolving. You are not standing in delay anymore, you are standing in divine release. Listen carefully. There's a reason the pressure intensified right before this moment. It wasn't to break you, it was to announce the shift. Heaven amplifies the storm only to showcase its control over it. And now, God is turning what was once your burden into the very bridge that carries you to restoration. The same hands that allowed loss are the ones building your recovery. You thought you were being stripped, but you were being strengthened. Right now, your name is being spoken in places your feet haven't yet walked. Conversations are happening in rooms you've never entered, all because heaven positioned your story to be remembered at the perfect second. The people connected to your next chapter are already sensing your energy, even if they don't know why. It's not coincidence, it's divine magnetism. You're pulling destiny toward you without even trying. And God whispers, I'm not restoring you to where you were, I'm placing you where you were meant to be all along. Every rejection is being rewritten as redirection. Every silence is turning into confirmation. You will soon find yourself in moments that feel too perfectly aligned to be random, because they're not. They're heaven's way of showing you that the waiting was never wasted. Archangel Michael steps closer. His voice doesn't echo, it vibrates through your chest. You are covered, he says. You are protected. You are chosen for this unfolding. His presence doesn't promise ease, it promises victory. The kind that leaves no doubt about who carried you through the storm. Feel this, the heaviness that once sat on your shoulders is starting to lift. That's the signal that the war is over. The spiritual battle you couldn't see has already been won. You're not just being restored, you're being reintroduced. The version of you that emerges now is untouchable by what once tried to take you down. And as the winds settle, something inside you begins to calm, not because everything makes sense, but because your soul finally recognizes the divine pattern. Heaven's plan isn't just unfolding, it's accelerating with your agreement. The moment you stop doubting and start receiving, the floodgates open wider. Stay right here in this stillness. You're not late. You're not behind. You're right on heaven's time. And in that timing, every peace, every prayer, every promise, finds its way back to you. There's a reason your soul feels different tonight. The air is charged, not with fear, but with divine electricity. Heaven has started to move things that were once impossible to touch. You may not hear trumpets, but in the spirit, there's sound, deep, ancient, unstoppable. It's the rhythm of your restoration taking form. What once felt delayed is now sprinting toward you, faster than your mind can process, and heaven whispers, this is what the waiting was for. Every unseen battle that was fought for you has reached its conclusion. The forces that stood in your way have been silenced. There's no more tug-of-war for your destiny. The command has been sealed, and Archangel Michael is walking through the corridors of time with your victory written across his wings. Every obstacle that rose to test you has become proof of how fiercely heaven protects you. Close your eyes for a second, feel that pulse in your chest. That's not just your heartbeat. That's divine timing syncing with your spirit. It's a signal that the atmosphere around you has shifted completely. The path that was once blocked is now wide open. The people who once doubted you will soon see how heaven's plan doesn't need their approval, it just needs your faith. You've been through nights that tried to erase your hope. But God was never silent. He was scripting something grander than your imagination could hold. You see, when heaven restores, it never returns things as they were. It returns them multiplied, matured, magnified. The same situations that once broke you will soon bow to your testimony. The same silence that once scared you will now be your sanctuary, and as you stand here, between what was and what's coming, the divine exchange begins. Peace replaces panic. Clarity replaces confusion. The noise of doubt fades under the melody of faith. You can almost feel light weaving through your days, stitching together moments that once made no sense. Heaven is rewriting your story, not from the start, but from the point you thought it ended. Archangel Michael steps closer, his presence like fire and calmness all at once. You have endured, he says. Now, you will emerge. His words don't echo, they settle into your bones, rearranging the vibration of your being. The weight that's lifting from you isn't temporary, it's permanent. The unseen chains that held you back are falling one by one, and this time, there's no going back. Right now, divine order is placing everything exactly where it belongs. The people, the timing, the opportunities, all aligning like stars finding their constellation. You won't have to chase what's yours. It's already been instructed to find you. And when it arrives, it will come gently but powerfully, leaving no doubt that this was heaven's doing. Listen, can you feel that? That warmth wrapping around you, that stillness that almost feels like time itself paused just for you, that's heaven confirming, it's done. The waiting, the wondering, the wrestling, it's over. You are stepping into your restoration season fully, completely, and fearlessly. The light that's breaking through now is not dawn, it's destiny. And as it falls over you, God whispers, "This is what I meant when I said I make all things new." You are not who you were before this began. You are the living proof that divine promises never expire, they just ripen in silence. Stand still. Breathe. Let the winds of heaven move around you. Because everything that was meant for you, everything that carried your name, everything that was delayed, denied, or dismissed, it's all finding its way home. And this time, nothing will stop it. The sky feels heavier tonight, not with darkness, but with promise. Something is stirring, something ancient and divine. You can almost sense it hovering, like the breath of heaven waiting to be released. There's a softness in the air, but underneath it, a power so intense it could shift mountains. This isn't imagination, this is alignment. The things that once seemed out of reach are drawing near, quietly, almost reverently, as if heaven itself has bent closer to you. Archangel Michael moves again, but this time, not with warning, he moves with completion. His presence feels different now, not like fire, but like light that knows its purpose. He carries the sound of finality, the kind that comes when heaven says, "It's time." You've walked through storms that tried to erase your name, through silence that tested your faith, but now, even the air around you carries recognition. It knows who you are. It knows what's returning. This is the moment creation was waiting for, the restoration to manifest in the visible. Things that have been forming in the unseen are beginning to show themselves. Not slowly. Not partially. But completely. Heaven has signed your release, and no force can revoke it. Every closed path, every missed chance, every door that once stayed locked, they are responding to your name differently now. Because your frequency has changed. You are no longer in the season of loss, you're in the season of return. Feel that pulse deep inside? That sudden calm between your ribs? That's heaven whispering, you made it through. The fight you thought would finish you only revealed your endurance. The silence that scared you actually strengthened your discernment. Now, as you stand at the edge of divine manifestation, everything begins to connect. The broken pieces were never random, they were puzzle fragments of a greater prophecy. The wind shifts again. You can almost hear it, a low hum, like angelic wings brushing against time. Archangel Michael raises his hand, and when he does, the energy in the atmosphere bends. Not metaphorically, but literally. Reality begins to move to make space for what heaven has decreed. The same voice that once said, "Let there be light," now whispers, "Let there be restoration." And you, standing in that light, begin to feel it. The heaviness you've carried for years dissolves. The confusion that made you question everything clears like fog before sunrise. It's not just peace you're feeling, it's completion. The cycle that began in pain is ending in purpose. Heaven didn't forget you. It was simply waiting until you were strong enough to handle the weight of the blessing. Now watch how everything responds. People who vanished without reason will sense the shift and remember your name. Doors you thought were permanently closed will open as if they were never locked. The very energy around you will hum differently because you're no longer the same. You're walking with divine authority now. You've been recalibrated by fire, silence, and grace. God speaks softly. This is the chapter one wrote when you thought your story was over. His voice doesn't shout, it settles deep in your bones. It reminds you that you were never forgotten, never forsaken, never abandoned. Every delay had direction. Every loss carried instruction. Every silence was sacred design. You don't need to chase what's yours, it's already tracking you down. It knows your frequency, your light, your alignment. And when it arrives, it won't come as chaos, it will come as peace that feels like home. Heaven's plan is no longer unfolding, it's being fulfilled, right here, right now. Stand in it. Feel it. The wait wasn't wasted. The promise wasn't forgotten. The battle wasn't in vain. You are standing in the very moment heaven has been preparing since the beginning. The restoration has landed, and this time, it's here to stay. The night feels sacred now, as if heaven itself is holding its breath. The atmosphere is alive, humming with something beyond words, a divine current that's wrapping itself around your destiny. It's not imagination, it's not coincidence. It's the quiet unfolding of everything you've been promised. You've entered the threshold where time bends and miracles begin to make sense. This isn't a new chapter, this is the revelation. You stand there, still, but every invisible thread around you is moving. The same God who wrote galaxies into motion is now writing restoration into your timeline. Archangel Michael watches with unwavering focus, his eyes locked on what's being released over your life. There's no hesitation, no delay, heaven is in full motion. Every prayer you whispered in exhaustion has been collected, every tear has been translated into instruction. And now, those instructions are manifesting in real time. The shift is no longer coming. It's here. You can feel it in your bones, the air feels lighter, your spirit feels stronger, and somewhere deep inside, peace has taken over fear. This is the exact moment your story turns from surviving to rising. All that was stripped from you is now returning multiplied, purified, glorified. You were never losing, you were being prepared to receive what could only come after breaking. Archangel Michael's voice pierces the silence, not loud, but commanding, resonating through the space within you. You've passed the test, he says. You endured what others could not. Now, what was promised is being released without measure. His words aren't sound, they're vibration. You can feel them stirring every part of your being that once doubted. The energy within you begins to awaken, and suddenly, you understand, this was never about what you lost. It was always about who you became. You've stepped into a season where heaven trusts you with more. The restoration you're receiving now doesn't just return things, it redefines them. The same doors that once ignored you will now call for you. The same people who couldn't see your worth will witness your rise and know it was divine. You won't need to explain the change, your presence will do it for you. And in that realization, peace expands. You remember the storms, but they don't sting anymore. You remember the silence, but it doesn't scare you. Because now you see it clearly, everything was orchestrated. The pain, the waiting, the confusion, all of it was sacred alignment disguised as delay. Heaven was not punishing you, it was positioning you. The ground beneath you hums with energy. You can almost feel the sound of your name echoing through unseen realms, being carried on waves of light toward everything that belongs to you. The people meant to help you, the opportunities written for you, the love destined for you, they're being magnetized right now, pulled toward you with divine precision. Nothing can block it anymore, because heaven has already spoken. God leans closer to your heart, and in a VO.